Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Boticki, and on this episode of Community Lights, we meet Eric. He's a man that has lost his home, his business, and life as he once knew due to chronic pain, depression, and anxiety.
My name is Eric Sabol, and I have an invisible illness. One of the hardest parts of the day is just getting out of bed. You know, it used to be I would sleep as long as I possibly could, as long as I can get out of the house in time, and quick cup of coffee, something to eat, and go. That's gone. It takes maybe a good hour and a half before I'm even ready to start thinking about what I have to accomplish that day, because I just wake up so stiff and in so much pain that it just grabs you and says, all of your attention, me, now. And that's what I have to do, is just listen to the body and take it slow. I had my own business, and it was a remodeling company. We remodeled basements specifically, did lots of custom woodwork, and I was very hands-on, very physical job, carpenter. Two beautiful kids. We were in our house that we had built. Kate and I designed it. I did all the interior finishing work on it. There was always a degree of pain with my job, but this was completely different. It wasn't going away. It was more nagging. It demanded my attention. And we eventually went down the road of the doctors trying to figure out what was going on. And we finally got to the diagnosis of fibromyalgia after going through everything else, because there is no test for fibro. There's no blood test, there's no scan, even though I did all those things. Fibro is a diagnosis of elimination. Once you take everything else off the table, if you're still having chronic pain, fatigue, depression, anxiety, they call that fibro. My kids mean the world to me. And that statement comes more powerfully these days, because for the first couple of years of dealing with this stuff, they didn't get the attention that they should have. And so now it's all about making up for time and just spending quality time with them. My son, he's so smart, and he loves watching science shows with me, and he could tell you anything you want to know about the solar system. And my daughter, she's like a little flower child. She's so sweet and innocent, and I just like soaking in, just watching her just explore her world. It's beautiful. When everything that you've worked for and everything that you planned for is suddenly just taken off the table, you are looking for answers. Why? And I couldn't answer that. There was no good reason why this was happening to me and my family, because it's affected every one of us. And so you really start to get into a hole that you can't foresee getting out of, and that kind of is the definition of depression. When you're feeling terrible and you have to convince somebody that you feel terrible, but you can't prove it, that just adds another layer of guilt and anxiety and depression, because you start doubting yourself. Is this in my head? I've been involved with music since I was young. I was turned on to playing guitar at a very young age, and it just spoke to me. It was a way of expressing things that I couldn't express verbally. And today, I don't play as much as I used to. It's very hard to do, but I still listen to music constantly. I put on my little earbuds and I listen to music and just go. It just helps me just take my mind off things. And my genre of choice is metal, without a doubt. There is an aggression there that I can relate to now. I'm angry. I've had stuff thrown at me that's not fair. Metal music for me has the ability to, safely remove that aggression, and it helps me cope, for sure. But at the end of the day, what has helped the most was talking to a therapist and being able to start taking all that stuff that this condition creates and sorting it out and looking at it objectively and honestly, and not trying to deny it. Because for a long time I was like, I can overcome this. I can do that. I can do this. this, and that wasn't a real viewpoint. I can't do those things. And it took a long time and the help of a really good doctor, Dr. Martin Poe, of just weeding through all that stuff and picking out the pieces that I needed to use and focusing on those. And he's been very helpful. And social media on Facebook. I have a group of guys that I belong to, a closed group called Men with Fibromyalgia. And being able to talk to people that get it and, don't look at you like what's wrong with you when you can't do the simplest things. They're like, no, I've been there. I can understand that. My wife has been unbelievably supportive through all this, and in a job that she didn't ask for. No one expects something like this to come and affect your life, but when it does, it has a shockwave effect as to the people around you and how it affects them. Kate's been wonderful. She's been so supportive. My kids are great. They understand that I'm different than some of the other dads, and they try to work around that, which is difficult to be part of. And friends have also been very helpful, of just people that will just do the simplest things, just say how you doing, or tap you on the back, or just letting you know that, hey, I feel for you. That's been huge. One of the hardest things that I've had to come to grips with is I had a lot of dreams and goals, and those are now gone. That doesn't mean I can't have new ones. And right now I'm trying to figure out what those are.
A very special thank you to Eric Sabol for his time and the courage to share his story. Please join us next week for our next episode of Community Lights. Don't forget to check us out on the Nami Racine County Facebook page.